Mike.
John Persinos, editorial director with GSG World Media. I'm here with Chris Brogan. Chris, you need no introduction. I'm going to get right to it. What do you think of the salient issues at this show? Every show has its buzz. There are issues discussed in the hallways. It's uppermost in everyone's mind. In your mind, what are the top issues at this particular blog world?
I think a lot of people are wondering, are they going to make that jump from being a blogger who blogs for passion, who blogs ancillary to their business, to being someone who's going to blog as their business, or who's going to take their blog a little more seriously in their business usage? And so I think there's people here wondering how to become a media company, or how to use their service to deliver a little bit more business value. So I think most people are looking, how do they amplify that human channel and connect up to people?
Okay. Right now, social media is considered was considered disruptive technology. Now it's more and more mainstream. Let's play futurist a little bit. What sort of disruptive technology could you envision coming down the pike that could upset the current social media status quo?
I'd say that proximity-based software, location-based software, near-field communications showing up on all mobile devices will all be something to this. There'll be a lot more loose-formed social networks or social networks of convenience. We're all at Blogworld. I would love to have a Blogworld social network that only exists for the duration of the time I'm in this realm, and that would be a value to me. So I see companies working towards that. They're just not there yet. And I see that the value to companies with that, of course, is that if you run a localized or location-based business, there's a big value to that.
One last question, and I'll let you go. Social media has played a big role in the political upheavals that we've seen in the Arab Spring, the British riots, Occupy Wall Street in America, the ability of protesters to create flash mobs. Where do you think that's heading? Do you think that this is going to be a permanent factor, that authoritarian regimes always have to be on their toes because of social media?
I think everyone has to be on their toes because of it. I think that the tools allow for a voice, and we've all wanted a voice for a long time, but just like the Gutenberg Bible was a press device, that press allowed anyone who could afford a Gutenberg Bible to do it. And then people who could afford $100,000 a day could do video shoot. Well, now anybody can do a video shoot. Now anybody can be the Gutenberg press. So I think that the opportunity is that this deluge can then be counted. The people who have a voice now outnumber the people who want to quell that voice. So whether or not I agree with certain protests, I would say that the opportunities have grown exponentially in getting that protest heard, and then people choosing to take an action or not.
Right, because technology empowers people at the grassroots. We have citizen journalists now, amateur journalists, and they get around the corporate gatekeepers who used to control information.
Right, and there's some challenges to that because a journalist is an education, it's a skill, and there's a requirement for balance. There's all these requirements that come to being a professional journalist versus a reporter. Anyone can report, but then of course they're telling their story, and there's that needs to happen. And then one last thing about that is that I think media education will now need to be taught in school to grade school kids the way reading, writing, and arithmetic are, because understanding bias will now become vital because everyone's a producer. If anyone sees us on screen, they're assuming we have some authority, which isn't something one should assume. So I think from there's a sense of how do you understand and break out media bias.
Right, because journalism at least used to be considered a profession with a discrete skill set.
Agreed.
And you paid your dues and you knew what the rules were, and now anyone can do it.
Right.
And there's been a certain amount of sloppiness.
Agreed.
So hey, listen, thanks for your time, Chris.
My
really
pleasure,
appreciate
John.
it.
Thanks.
Thank you.